Well, hello. How the heck are you today? Today, we are trying out two new Menagerie cosmetic palettes, the Claws and the Paws. We are going to do one look with each palette, and then we're going to do two looks using these together because Menagerie did say they were made to be companion palettes to each other, so I thought we would test that out and see how well they do together. You can, of course, obviously buy them separately and use them separately as well, but wanted to see what these are going to look like together. They are so stinking cute. And we actually have some pretty unique color stories in these. I have had so much fun playing with these palettes already. They actually inspired me so much. There is so much that you can do with these. I'm going to show you some of the looks that I really loved as we play with these puppies and kitties. I know, that was bad. That was bad. So we're going to test them out and see how well they build, blend, and sparkle. But first, if we haven't met before, hello, my name is Sherry. Welcome to Makeup Therapy. If you are a makeup enthusiast who loves to play with makeup as a hobby like I do, then you are in the right place. So sit back, relax, and forget about everything else for a while we play with some makeup together. Playing with colorful and unique indie palettes is something I love to do, so if that is content you love to see, then subscribe for more. So here's how this is going to work today. We are actually going to do the two looks with these together first, and then I'm going to show you the two looks that I did individually with each one as we talk about how those went, how it performed, and thoughts on the palettes overall. Okay, I'm actually going to be starting with the light blue in the Paws palette called Puppy Dog Eyes, and I'm going to put that in my crease and all over my lid. So I'm going to use this shader brush from the Be Perfect and Stacey Marie. It's the 304. Hold on, I forgot to put my eye base on and put my hair back. Okay, that's better. Actually, let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, here we go. I'm actually not going to take it all the way down because I'm going to put a giant wing here, so I'm going to leave some space for that. Look how vibrant this blue is. Wow, that is so pretty. I'm also going to go ahead and put this all over the lid so we have a base for the shimmer. Ooh, that is bright. Wow. I'm going to blend it out with the gray here called Mouser in the Paws palette. This is actually, it does look very gray in the pan, but it actually, oh, you can't even really see it there much, but it actually does have a little bit of lavender in it. Just an ever so slight kind of lavender undertone. So I'm going to blend the blue out with this. These two blended together really do give us such a pretty lavender shade. I'm going to go ahead and bring that blue back a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go ahead with the shimmer now, and we are going to use, out of the Paws palette, we're going to use Here Kitty Kitty. Look at this shade. Oh, that's so gorgeous. We've got purple and blue shifty shade. How stunning. And since we already have the matte all over the lid, I'm just going to go ahead and spray this one and put it right on top there. Holy smokes. Do you see that? With that blue underneath there, it really brings out the blue shift in that. Oh, it's stunning. Keep that in mind with these palettes. I did do that with my other looks as well. I normally don't do it with my looks, but with these, I went ahead and put down like the mattes as a base on the lid for these shimmers. That just brings them out so beautifully. You can even use, of course, like colored eye bases for even more options. Wow. Kind of feel like we lost the gray a little bit up in there, so I'm going to stamp some more on before we move on. I really like that shade. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut out where I want to put that wing and then put some base back down over that. I'm going to take some micellar water first with this very small flat brush. I think it's like a lip brush, but I need something really small to be able to carve out just the area I want to put the wing. I just kind of want to clean it up so we have a smooth surface to work on. I'm just going to use my regular eye base, my Natasha Denona eye base, to go over that to give us a base for the wing. Okay, there we have it. I'm going to start with a very thin liner brush. We're going to take it out of the Paws palette. Did I call this one the Claws last? Or the Paws? Claws? Paws. Sorry if I get them mixed up. We're going to make our wing out of Woof Woof. I hope I don't screw this up. I would have to get the right angle here. That's not bad. Did I go too far? I might have gone too far. This is such a beautiful shade of blue. It's almost like a blue-green, kind of. Go on the inside here. Now we'll see where our top part of the wing needs to come out and connect. Okay, that's not too bad. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill this in. To do that, I'm just gonna use my tiny little rougher pencil brush, the number 23. Okay, there we go. It's not perfect, but that's fine. I feel like we needed something more, but instead of pulling in something else, I think I'm gonna go back to the original shimmer. I think I'm going to mix some of this in with some Duraline and make it into a liquid and kind of outline part of the wing. Let's give that a try. Okay, I'm just gonna use this adorable little butterfly palette here, and I'm going to scoop out just a touch. You don't need much at all, just the tiniest little bit. And then I'm gonna mix that with this Inglot Duraline and like one little drop, and we will mix that in together. Not too much of the Duraline, don't want it too runny, and we get something that looks like this. So I'm just gonna take that same angled brush. Ooh, I don't know, I might have made this too runny. Let's give it a try. That kind of worked. I know my ratio wasn't great. I'm just gonna grab it right out of the pan and go over the top of that. That is such a pretty shade. Okay. It is not perfect, but that is okay. I'm gonna go back into that darker blue shade and carry that down here a little bit on the lower lash line. Then I'm gonna take that little pencil brush again and go into the gray and kind of smudge it out a bit. I'm gonna take that gray all the way in, the rest of the way then. All right, just to break up the monotone just a little bit, I'm gonna go into this one for the inner corner. This is called Formidable. This is what she looks like. So pretty. There's a nice pink inner corner. I'm gonna spray this one. I think I got a little bit of chunkiness there. I'm gonna pull it through down here a little bit and just kind of blend it up into here. That's kind of cute. A nice little pop of pink in there. That's probably what I should have used for this so it stood out a little more, but that's okay. Those are so pretty together. I'm actually going to take a little more of this shade and just kind of pop it on. Make it a little bit more intense. Get it right up to the wing right here. Okay, that's going to do it for this look. Let me go ahead and finish off. Okay, here we are finished off. To tightline the upper lid, I used the Laura Mercier Tightline Cake eyeliner, or I should say the upper lash line. The lashes are these Eyelure Extreme Cat Eye. Like, they do kind of flare out quite a bit, but other than that, they're not giving much. I don't know. And then on the lower waterline, we have the Lethal Pink. I figured pink would be a good thing to kind of bring that, extend that a little bit so it's not quite so monotone. And this is called BPM. The liner on the top, I tried to just use the Kiss like glue liner, but the lashes were not wanting to stick, so I just did regular glue and then just put some black eyeliner over it, or black eyeshadow over the glue liner so it didn't get stuck and mess everything up. And then the mascara I used on the lower lashes is this I Heart Revolution Chocolate Dipped. I used to actually like this quite a bit. I think it got fairly dry, so this may be resigned to just the lower lashes from now on. But I really like how this look turned out. It's so shiny and shifty and pretty. Let's move on to the second look. Okay, I remembered my eye base this time, so we're off to a good start. We are going to start with, I'm actually going to do both of the greens in my crease, but I'm going to start off with the lighter green so we can see how the darker green builds on top of it. This one is called Catnip. The shade names in these are so cute. So I'm just going to take a fluffy brush. This is the Be Perfect BPE06. What a pretty shade. All of these shades are so nice and pigmented and blend so smoothly. Look how nicely that went on. The color of this one is just blowing me away. That blended out absolutely beautifully, and it's so pigmented. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the darker green called Lapdog in the Paws palette. For this one, I'm going to use a little bit bigger of a pencil brush. This is the Be Perfect and Stacey Marie 201. If you're wondering about this set, by the way, these are fantastic brushes. So I'm going to put that in just a touch in the outer corner just to blend into the green, and then through the crease to deepen this up. It is definitely not having any problems whatsoever building on that lighter green. That went on really nice. Now I'm just going to go back to that first brush and the first green just to kind of blend the edges together a little bit more. Now I'm going to take the brown, this dark brown called Squirrel in the Paws palette. And I'm going to put that just in the outer corner. I'm just going to go ahead and use the same pencil brush, I think. All right, let's see how shade number 3 builds on top of the other ones. Okay, so this one I did notice when you try to blend it, it gets a teeny bit patchy right here, but only when you try to blend it. So you blend out the edges and then come back in and just pack that on in the outer corner, then it's perfectly fine. So that looks pretty nice. Let me just blend the edges here a bit. Blend it into the green really nice. I'm just going to blend the edge of the brown with the dark green a little bit. And then back with our lighter green. Just going back and forth a little bit until this area is where I want it. Okay, now I'm going to cut my crease and we're going to put 2 more mats on the lid again to be able to put our shimmers over. So you can see another way that it shifts over a couple different matte shades. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the crease. Then we'll put the other mats on the lid. Okay, crease is cut. Now we're gonna go in with the mats. I'm gonna use this pretty small packing brush. This is from the Morphe Holiday Collection. It's the H2. I'm going to pack it on with that. The first one we're going into is in the Claws palette. This one down here called Furball. We're going to put that over half of the lid. And then on the other half, we're going to put this gray one called Mouser on the inner half. I'm going to go ahead and start on the inner part since I'm going to use the same brush for both. Just do still be careful when you're packing this on or you will get fallout. It's not really bad at all. Otherwise, I've really only seen it when I really pack it on. So the fallout in this one is not too bad. And by doing these, like the 2 mats on the lid, you're really going to be able to see the difference in how the shimmer shifts on the dark matte versus the light matte. Now I'll go into Furball and I kind of get it up close to that line and blend into that. See, it is showing up much more burgundy now. You can really see it on top of this base versus in the pan it looks pretty brown. Blend that a bit into the darker brown we had in the outer corner. Now I do want these to be blended together a little bit because I don't want you to be able to see, you know, like a stark line with the shimmer over the top on where each one begins. So I'm going to blend these in a little bit. The brown really disappeared there. We'll have to just go back and stamp that back on after the shimmer is on. I'm just going to use the same brush for the shimmer and I'm just going to spray it. We are going to do the Here Kitty Kitty again. So on this side, we had that light blue underneath it. This is the same shade as over here. So let's see how this shows up on top of the gray and burgundy. I feel like right off the bat, you can see the purple in this one come out so much more over the burgundy. That is so pretty. I don't know if you see it, but it looks like completely different shades, right? Okay, heading into the gray. It is definitely much brighter and it's pretty much icy, much more icy blue over this gray. I really like purple and green together. I can see kind of pink, like all the shifts are coming out over a couple different colors. You know what? Instead of going back over the corner with the brown, I think I'm going to stick to the burgundy and put that out there and blend it into the shimmer just a bit, just to marry them together a little. Okay, that was not really showing up, probably because of the brush I have, but I'm still gonna stick with that for the outer part of the shimmer here. There we go. I am still seeing that little bit of patchiness there, so maybe 3 shades on top of each other might be a little much, but it did fine with 2. And in the other looks that I'm gonna show you that I did, blending dark to light, I mean, those worked perfectly. So if you do want to do, you know, more than a couple shades together, building dark to light works perfectly fine. I feel like there was something else I wanted to do. Oh yeah, I want to just take this on my finger and just get it a little more intense. Wow, this shade is just stunning. Oh, I love it. All right. I don't know how this is gonna look, but I am going to grab Chew Toy, this bright, like a chartreuse color. Oh my god, that's beautiful. I'm gonna pop that on the inner corner. First, what do we want to do on the lower lash line? I think I'm just going to go ahead and take the greens on the lower lash line and then probably pull that shimmer in a little bit underneath. I'm just going to use this smudge brush from the Be Perfect Stacey Marie line. This is the 303. I'm going to start with that darker green and then blend it out with the light green. Now I'm going to go into Chew Toy and I'm just going to spray that as usual. Oh, I like that a lot. I am seeing this is looking very purple for me. Is that what you see? I think it is. From this angle, oh, that's with the pink in there. I was going to say that one looks purple too, but this looks very blue. This looks very purple. I'm loving these together. I love this green in the inner corner. That is so pretty. Okay, let me finish this off and then we'll come back and I will show you the other two looks while we talk about the palettes. Okay, we're back and this is the finished look. I really like how this one turned out. I love the contrast between the greens and the shimmer. I'm definitely seeing some balding going on in the outer corner. So for next time, we'll just have to work darkest to lightest or only keep it to like building 2 at a time. Okay, to finish off, I used the Cake Line Tight Liner again. I used the Huda liquid liner. This is a double-ended one. It has a regular liner and a liquid liner. I just used the liquid liner. This is pretty nice. It's very black. I like this one. Then on the waterline, I used this Lethal in purple called Loop. I really wanted to give a little bit more of the purple with all of this green. I think that looks really nice. The lashes are Allure London and Jasmine Brown Faux Glow Faux Mink. These are really nice. I like these a lot. And the bottom lashes, I use the same one, the I Heart Revolution Chocolate Dipped. And that's it for these two looks using the two palettes together. So let me go ahead and walk you through the other two looks. Okay, so I started off with the Paws palette, and this one I blended dark to light. Started off with that dark brown, and like I said, that one I had no problem with that. Blending that dark to light, putting the brown down first, and then blending the blues around it worked perfectly. I had no problems with it sticking whatsoever. The blues are absolutely gorgeous. They blended together perfectly. Same with the green. It is so beautifully pigmented. The yellow is gorgeous, and those two blend together beautifully as well. And then I went ahead and put the light blue and the yellow mattes on the lid because the two shimmers in this palette are black based shimmers, so they're very dark. I should say the green and the blue shimmers can show up quite dark. However, putting them over these lighter mattes really lightened them up quite a bit, and they blended in together so nicely. It made such a beautiful shade. You're not really seeing the shifts of these two shimmers very much in this because it's kind of pulling from the color that's underneath it, but these two looked beautiful. They blended together beautifully. The shade that they made blending together was absolutely gorgeous. You of course can absolutely use like a colored eye base. If you want something not quite as dry as putting the matte shades down, you can do that, but it lightened up these darker shimmers perfectly. And then on the lower lash line with the yellow and the blue, those of course blend together so nicely to give us a little bit of a green in the middle, and had to bring that yellow out a little bit more, putting that in the waterline. And Chew Toy, the lightest shimmer, of course, going in the inner corner. I absolutely love this look. Had zero problems with any of the blending, any of the shimmers. Everything went absolutely perfectly, honestly. This one I wanted the burgundy outer corner, and again here you can see it really well where it is showing up much more of a burgundy shade than the brown that it looks like in the pan. It is so beautiful. And then the green goes so great with this shade, so I put that one on the crease, and again we have mattes on the lid, keeping with the burgundy and the green, and then taking that absolutely beautiful shimmer toe beans over the lid, and again you can really see that what is underneath it is really bringing out the different shifts in the shades. So the outer part really looks pink, in the inner part at the right angle really does pull green. It looks absolutely beautiful. I think with the two mattes underneath it on the lid, being able to pull those shifts. And then just for something a little different than what's on the lid, I went with Formidable on the inner corner. I really wanted the duochrome pink and green in the waterline, so I used the Kaleidos one. It's a little darker than I wanted it, but it still worked really nicely. And again, absolutely no problem with the shades blending or packing them on in the lid. The shimmers were absolutely stunning, and I really love actually all of the looks that I've done with these two palettes. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap up thoughts. I really love these. I know that some people might have a hard time looking at these going, what am I supposed to do with this? But honestly, these inspire me so much. I'm gonna have some more looks on Instagram because I have a couple more that I've played around with before filming that I really liked, and I want to get those up. But these are just, they're interesting, they're unique color stories. I really am inspired by these. There's so much that you can do with them. Just play around with them. Even if there's shades that you don't think would go together, put them together anyway. I mean, who cares? Just play around with it. Also, I think one of the ones that I did for Instagram, the burgundy and the gray together, is also really pretty. These two, of course, I mean, that's a no-brainer. Those go together. The shimmers are beautiful in both of these palettes, and I think it does go really nicely. Like this shade up here that has a little bit of a green shift. I don't know what it's showing up like on camera right now. A little bit of gold, green, that goes really nicely with this green, well, as we saw in one of the looks. But these are wonderful. The only problem, like we saw with this look over here, building too many on top of each other might give you some patchiness. Best way to solve that is to just go dark to light. I had zero problems with anything blending in together that way, so give that a try. Don't let that deter you. All you have to do is switch it up a little bit, and if you're not building so many shades on top of each other, you don't have to worry about that anyway. I had so much fun playing with these, and I can't wait to play with them more. Now, for me, as someone who is a makeup enthusiast, I like to do a lot of kind of bigger creative looks. So the way that I would use these, first of all, I would pull these shimmers in with just about anything. They're so beautiful. I would probably use a couple of these shades maybe as my jumping off point to use with some of these shimmers, but then just pull in maybe some other colored mattes from other palettes. But even so, I mean, these by themselves really are interesting. I don't think I have this kind of a color story in any of the palette. Maybe you could probably get kind of close. With this one, I might have something kind of similar, but nothing like this one. These are actually really unique, and there's so much that you can do with these. I really love these. I'm so glad that I got them. I can see myself using these a lot in the future. To see some more incredible indie releases, check out my playlist here next. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I'll see you in the next one.